Well, greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved Star Wars dad, Nooch Too Good, and it's time to rank our Galactic Legends here in 2025. We just got Ahsoka on board. We now have 9 Galactic Legends in the game, and it is time to take a look at how these guys stack up from bottom to top, from top to bottom, and which ones are the best, which ones are the worst. I think we can stop defining what ranking means. We're going to do some specific categories here. I'm going to look at the performance / utility of each Galactic Legend. How do they perform in multiple game modes? Where can you use them? What are they useful for? The accessibility. How accessible are these Galactic Legends? That comes into play when you're looking at ranking a Galactic Legend. You've got to look at how accessible that Galactic Legend is to the player base, in addition to how it performs in the game. 3, we're going to rank the return on investment, which is only really something to look at for a couple of these. There's not really any direct return on investment I'm aware of for any of them other than a couple. We'll take a look at that. And finally, are they fun? And that's my call. How much fun is each Galactic Legend? How much do I enjoy having them? My call, my channel, my video, my decision. Let's jump in and take a look at these GLs and see what they how they rank out. And coming in at number 9, your pal and mine, Sith Eternal Emperor. Now, I will say this for Sith Eternal Emperor, his accessibility is really high. Really high, especially or even for free-to-play players. He also has a couple of Lightspeed bundles out there that get you most everything you need aside from Thrawn and Palpatine on your roster. If you're going to get those guys, you got to go get also the Shadows of the Empire bundle or farm the Rebels and Phoenix needed for those 2 guys as well. So really accessible. I've done the farm here on the channel free to play. It took me less than 9 months to unlock him free to play. But you don't get a lot of great stuff with his farm. You do get your Imperial Troopers, which is nice, which I'm always harping on Imperial Troopers, and that's a positive. You get some Sith that you don't really use. I guess you're using them in the raid right now, but that's not a long-term solution. You get a bunch of other Sith. You get Director Krennic. You get people to put in other teams. It's just not a great farm. Doesn't really coalesce. There is some overlap between Sith Eternal and Executor, with the TIE Bomber going over to Executor, Vader going over to Executor as well. But there's just not a lot of overlap there, and his performance in the game, when you look at how Sith Eternal performs in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, I think generally agreed upon that he is the lowest performing Galactic Legend. Basically, the place to use him is on offense in Grand Arena, and sure, some of you guys are going to argue with me, and that's totally fine. I'm sure some of you guys have found a spot for him in Territory Battles, maybe, or in Territory War. You know, he does have his uses. I guess Territory War, you'd have some places to use him. In Territory Battles, I guess you could find your spots. It doesn't seem to be Rote, though, if you ask me. I've looked around. I don't really see a place to use him in Rote. Maybe I'm missing out on that, but even in Grand Arena, you can't really put him on defense. He is Wampa bait on defense, unless you also put like Darth Malak and or Darth Revan in there, and or Basilisk Shan Fallen. But those characters actually really belong on other teams in Galaxy of Heroes. So maybe if you don't have any other teams, that's your only Sith team, you can put him on defense and he can be okay. But generally, he's an offensive tool. And if you don't have Wat Tambor or the Armorer or somebody to give him some, extra protection recovery, removing his debuffs, etc., he's really going to suffer even on offense. So Sith Eternal comes in last, even though he probably is the most just flat out accessible in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Coming up in the number 8 spot, Lord Vader. Now, we all know right now I'm farming Lord Vader free to play, and we're doing that on the channel. You guys voted for that. It wasn't my decision. You all wanted to see it. Those videos are doing really well. Still, each of those weekly videos gets a good amount of views. So you guys have really tuned in to watch me farm Lord Vader. I'm doing a bunch of side stuff along the way. That's a separate conversation. I will say that the vast majority of rosters that I look at that are late to super late game rosters wait until the very end to farm Lord Vader, and there's a few reasons for that. One, again, he doesn't have a lot of utility. There's not a lot of places to use him on offense. Maybe he's going to work in TB for you, Territory Battles. I'm sure you can find some places in Territory Wars, although I don't think I've ever seen a Lord Vader defense. An effective Lord Vader. I mean, you can put an effective Lord Vader defense out. He does go on defense. He's an okay defensive performer. If he's got Maul on the team, which Maul now even has his own uses aside from that with other teams, Imperial Super Commando and Gar Saxon come to mind. So you put Lord Vader out there on defense. He's got a lot of ways to be killed. You take him out there in offense. He's such a slow stack up to do anything on offense. But mainly, it's the investment. He is still the most expensive and longest farm in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. You need more Kyrotechs, more characters, bigger. You need the whole gas journey. You need Padme in there. That's not a difficult journey, but you need her in there at Relic 8 and gas at Relic 8. You need to get your Bad Batch all reliced up. And then I think there's other marquees in there as well. I'm not recalling off the top of my head, but you need more Kyrotech for Lord Vader than any other character in the game, and more gear investments. When you put it all together, it's the biggest investment out of any character, and he really is limited on his uses, really to defense and Grand Arena, maybe some other spots. But Lord Vader, or Lord Failure as some know him, coming in at the number 8 spot for me. Coming in at number 7, Galactic Legend Ahsoka. She's our brand new Galactic Legend, and it's great, and I've got her on the roster, and she's doing some good things for me on defense and Grand Arena. She's performing in territory battles, and I put her on defense and territory wars. She's doing, what was I supposed to say out loud? I don't know. Anyway, she's doing some good things. For early, mid-game players, she's basically inaccessible right now. And this is true for almost any new Galactic Legend that comes out. When you look at new farms, you look at marquees that aren't double shard farmable for a year. And I realize when I say inaccessible, I'm thinking of the free-to-play player, the mid-game player, whatever. But if you don't have a late game roster, you really should not be looking at farming Galactic Legend Ahsoka. It's going to take you forever. It'll probably take you longer than a Lord Vader farm, just because the characters take so long to unlock now. And there's so many marquees. There were the zombie troopers, and then you had all the specters. So there's 7 or 8 marquees in this journey, and then you need 3 Relic 9s, all of the Ahsokas at Relic 9. It's just a really inaccessible journey right now. And then over time, when those characters become double shard farmable later in 2025, should be more accessible. Maybe she'll move up the list a little bit. I'm also going to say, as far as fun goes, I forgot to mention fun. Let's go back and we'll do fun with the other 2 guys, but I'm not really having a lot of fun with her. She's her abilities don't really, I don't know. She just kind of she's very passive. She's very passive. She passes on a lot of stuff to the rest of the team, doesn't do a lot of things herself. And for that reason, I just find her not a lot of fun to play with. So I bring her at number 7. If we look at fun for Lord Vader, I'm going to say also not a lot of fun, since you just throw him on defense and just watch him sit there, and and playing with him on offense is an absolute chore, just stacking up forever and ever and ever. And if you look at Sith Eternal, Sith Eternal, I'm going to say using on offense is a fair amount of fun. When you get to take a team and just eliminate 2 or more of them with 1 ultimate shot, hey, that's a lot of fun in the game. So I do give Sith Eternal props for being fun and easily farmable. His utility is just so low, he falls in at the bottom. But yeah, Ahsoka just doesn't really seem like a lot of fun to me so far. Maybe it's be fun later, but she's really passive. She just gives everybody else in the team the ability to do everything, while she kind of just sits there and I don't know, waits for them to do it. Coming in at number 6, Galactic Legend Rey. I still say that Rey, outside of Lightspeed bundles, because clearly she's got 3 Lightspeed bundles that are going to cost you $40. You can unlock Galactic Legend Rey with a little bit of extra work in there to get Jedi Training Rey, BB-8, and then also bring in your Raddus. If you're playing the game free to play, or you're not buying a lot of Lightspeed bundles, just $10 here or there, nobody ever farmed Rey for years. She's been out for over 4 years, maybe 5 years now. I don't know exactly. Go back and look at, I think they came out in 2020 is when the Galactic Legends came out. So we're going on 5 years of Rey being in the game. Until the Lightspeed bundles came out, if you didn't farm her back in 2020, maybe 2021, before Luke and Sith Eternal came out, nobody farmed her. Nobody farmed Rey. That's why when the Lightspeed bundles came out, so many people bought Rey's Lightspeed bundle, because nobody had ever farmed her. And the reason is her farm overlaps with basically nothing. Basically, absolutely nothing. Like Jedi Training Rey goes with Jedi Master Luke, and the Houndstooth goes with the Executor. That you need the Houndstooth for the Raddus. Other than that, you get a big barrel full of nothing other than Galactic Legend Rey. She is a kind of a stalwart defense character. She goes on almost every roster, puts her on defense in Grand Arena. with old Ben sitting there. She can cause some problems if you handle it wrong, but generally speaking, you take Starkiller in there, you wipe her out, you move on to the next thing. She's just a Starkiller absorber at this point in Grand Arena. She's not a great performer in Conquest, I've really noticed, unless you know, I like to auto my Conquest. I'm a gentleman who likes to auto my Conquest. Thank you very much. But, you know, if you got to go in there and play it, you can manage her to do it right. You know, she's my one Galactic Legend that when I take into that new, what's that energy called? The legend tokens, those big pink legend tokens. She's the one I have to actually manage tightly, and I haven't figured out how to 3-star that level yet. In territory battles, territory wars, again, she just goes out there and defense, and you let her sit there. Territory battle, I don't get a lot of. She just doesn't have a lot of usefulness in the game other than putting on defense in a couple of game modes, and I don't find that to be a lot of fun. I don't find her character to be a lot of fun. I don't really play with her that often, you know, managing the team, and nobody has farmed her outside of Lightspeed bundles. Reagan's at number 6. She is above the other ones primarily because she does have that permanent defensive spot, and in the right situation, she can give you some headaches. She can. You know, she needs another lifter is what she really needs in this game, is what we need for Rey. Coming at number 5, Jedi Master Luke. Jedi Master Luke is, to me, the primary primary function of Jedi Master Luke is you get Jedi Knight Luke, and you can unlock other Galactic Legends who shall be named shortly. Jedi Master Luke, again, is a character for me that he's got offensive uses in territory Grand Arena. Let's reverse that. Grand Arena, Jedi Master Luke has a lot of offensive uses. You bring him in there. I do have some fun playing with Jedi Master Luke. My main fun with Jedi Master Luke is getting Hermit Yoda to kill people, because you don't expect... No one expects Hermit Yoda to kill people. So... Yeah, I enjoy playing with the team mainly for that reason. It's got some good offensive uses. Jedi Knight Cal is out there as a moderate lifter. People think he's just like this gigantic lifter. He's a good lifter for Jedi Master Luke. He's not an amazing lifter. He's nowhere near what Darth Rey's doing for Kylo right now. But Jedi Master Luke, again, you don't really put him on defense unless he's got a really good datacron going on at the moment in Grand Arena. He does beat other Galactic Legends. He loses out to a lot of, like the Inquisitors just crush him like nobody's business. Like Starkiller beats Rey, but the Inquisitors crush Jedi Master Luke in every game. It's crazy how much work the Inquisitors can do against the Jedi Master Luke team. So, I mean, he's good. He's his farm, he is accessible. You know, the Shadows of the Empire bundle is there. It's a $10 bundle, gives you a lot of pieces you need to get to Jedi Master Luke. He's not all that difficult to farm. If you get Jedi Knight Luke, Jedi Master Luke is only just add Mon Mothma, add R2, sprinkle in a Millennium Falcon. No, you already got Millennium Falcon. And there's something else you got to add in there. I can't remember what it is. Just sprinkle in a few extra things, and boom, you got Jedi Master Luke. It's not that far out from Jedi Knight Luke. To get Jedi Master Luke, Jedi Training Ray is the other one. So he's pretty accessible, and he does a good job at offense. He's not super flexible. He doesn't beat a ton of other things, but he beats a good amount of other. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm saying this right here, but he's got his limitations. He's pretty good. He's accessible. I do have fun playing with him. Not a tremendous amount of fun, but fun. So Jedi Master Luke comes in at number 5. Coming at number 4. Am I even being clear about why I'm ranking these people? I think a lot of this is based on just how I feel about it. Go argue with me in comments, please. Bring it on. Let's have some fun. Coming in at number 4, we got Jedi Master Kenobi. Jedi Master Kenobi would have been number 1 a couple years ago. He is a really good defensive team unless your opponent has Balin's Skull. If your opponent has Balin's Skull, don't put this guy in defense because he's going to get hurt. So other than that, though, if they don't have Balin's Skull, you really do have to deal with Jedi Master Kenobi on defense in Grand Arena. And why do I keep going back to Grand Arena? It's my most fun game mode. It's the game mode that I feel like most of you guys are engaging in. The most engaged in mode in this game is Grand Arena, which is why I wish they'd fix it for lower level players. But anyway, I'm going to start digressing. We don't want to do that. Jedi Master Kenobi actually is fairly accessible in today's game. If you've done a bunch of the other farming, you've got a couple of Lightspeed bundles baked in there from the raid, and you've got a pretty easy path. It's not all that difficult to farm Jedi Master Kenobi. You don't need any giant journeys for him. You know, you need Hermit or Grandmaster Yoda in there. General Kenobi's. There aren't like, it's not a lot of major roadblocks to owning Jedi Master Kenobi, except that you have to have Commander Ahsoka on your roster. Without Commander Ahsoka, Jedi Master Kenobi would drop down this list, maybe to number 7. I don't know, something like that. He drops dramatically without Commander Ahsoka on his roster. So now it's not that hard to get Commander Ahsoka. There are a lot of places to access her, including crystals, I think. And there was a bundle that you can buy a bundle to get Commander Ahsoka as well. So Commander Ahsoka is accessible in the game for bundles or other ways to get her. She's an early Proving Grounds character, pretty easy to get that tier done as well. But you've got to have her for Jedi Master Kenobi, which is the biggest limitation for his availability in the game. As far as performance and utility, he's going to perform in all game modes for you. Grand Arena, Conquest, Territory Battles. He is an across-the-board performer. You can auto him in Conquest. He'll be just fine. Is he a lot of fun? I don't really think so. Jedi Master Kenobi's team is more of like a big, beefy, stall-out team till eventually they just wear you down and knock you out. It's not as bone-crushingly slow as Lord Vader, because you do have Commander Ahsoka coming out and they're knocking somebody out like within the first 30 seconds, and that's a lot of fun with her insta-kill. But other than that, it's kind of a slog, and he's put out there because he is kind of a slog. That's why you put him on defense for the most part, unless your opponent has Balin's Skull, and then he gonna get hurt. So there you go. Jedi Master Kenobi has been a stalwart character in this game for a long time. Good at all game modes. Pretty accessible in the game these days. Performance is high. Accessibility is high. Fun is mediocre. Hey, we haven't got to return on investment on anybody yet, have I? Have I? Oh, look at that. Leia Organa comes in at number 3. As far as performance, she's going to perform in every game mode. I put her into every game mode, and I do a lot of autoing, and I enjoy a lot of autoing. She is really good, and I still, to this day, I think I've got a hold, and I get holds on in Grand Arena with her all of the time, because I'll put other Galactic Legends out there, and people got to deal with them. Then they're like, with Leia, they're like, I don't have anything left. Although she is vulnerable to Darth Bane. Just keep that in mind. If you see Leia Organa, probably Darth Bane is going to be a good choice for you to take her out. So she is vulnerable to Darth Bane, but other than that, there are really not a lot of great options to take out Leia Organa, and that includes the other Galactic Legends. There's no guarantee those other Galactic Legends are going to be successful against her, and so there you go. As far as like I said, accessibility, she's a little bit less accessible. You got to go get Princess Nisa. A lot of people are already farming Rex early on, so Rex isn't that big of a deal. Imperial, the Scout Trooper, and Drogon. These are more accessible characters now. And if you're going to get like Jedi Knight Luke, and you're getting Jedi Master Luke and other characters as well. We're not naming it because we're not on the list yet. If you're getting Jedi Knight Luke, it's not that long of a journey to get Leia Organa from there. There are some Chirotechs involved, but she's fairly accessible in the game these days. She's fairly accessible. So performance high, accessibility is good. Is she fun? Yeah, you know what? When I do manage her or play with her, she's a lot of fun. And trying to manage it down to where you can revive anybody that's died with her ultimate can be a lot of fun as well. She is a lot of fun. Is she the most fun Galactic Legend? No, not for me, but that's coming up shortly. And return on investment. Hey, we actually have a return on investment for Leia. It's not a giant one in the Ewok adventures that come out every month. That's not what they're called. I don't know what they're called. I don't know what they're called. There's a special event that comes out every month with Ewoks. The first 2 tiers, the first tier you get Wicked Shards. The second tier you get a couple Zetas. The third tier you have to have Leia Organa. You get an Omicron. You get some Ewok Shards for some reason. I don't know why. And then you get some other like relic gear pieces. It's not a lot, but it's better than a stick in the eye, as my grandfather would have said. So yeah, there is some return on investment for Leia Organa as well, but she really is. She is difficult to deal with. If she's on a defensive team or out there, she's just difficult to deal with, and she comes in at number 3. Coming in at number 2 is my favorite guy. I still love this guy. I love Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. He's been my favorite from the beginning. He was the first Galactic Legend I farmed. He was, maybe it's sentimental, but he started my journey here on YouTube for Star Wars Galaxy Heroes of really starting to get viewers on the channel, finding a home, finding my voice. I guess that's selfish of me, but I have a ton of fun playing the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. I don't care that everybody dies around him. I love taking Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, focusing in on that one character, siphoning and stacking up his abilities, and just one-shotting other Galactic Legends. And now with Darkseid Rey in there, he's even hotter. It is a hot, baby. It is hot in that room. And I don't know, I'm just saying, little Bastila Revan thing going on there. I mean, they did kiss. Let's get back on topic. So the performance, he's just high. You can't put him on defense he's not really a defensive performer. But his offense performance is so great. He kills almost everything in the game. And he can solo. I mean, a lot of teams out there, he can solo Sith Eternal. I mean, the guy just performs. He just gets out there, he chops the wood, and he comes home and he eats the bacon. He probably fries the bacon himself and makes the eggs himself. He does all the work. And he's a lot of fun when he does it. There's no return on investment. And his accessibility, by the way, is really, really high. It's not a difficult farm. And yeah, the farm doesn't do a lot of overlapping. The Finalizer farm overlaps with your Executor, which I harp on all the time. If you get Finalizer, go get the Executor. But for a couple of bundles that'll cost you $30, you can have Supreme Leader Kylo Ren on your roster. And he is just a lot of fun. I really, really, really love Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Can you tell? Am I gushing enough? I love this guy. He's my fave. And my second fave comes in next. The very best Galactic Legend in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, bar none, is Jabba the Hutt. And I really don't think it's a conversation at this point. It seems to be universally agreed upon. His performance in game, he is good across all game modes. In Rise of the Empire territory battles, he's actually a required unit all through the neutral section of the entire territory battle. Jabba the Hutt required, Jabba the Hutt required, Jabba the Hutt required, you got to keep using him every single round of territory, Rise of the Empire territory battles. You're going to use him. He's, of course, going to be used in territory wars. He's great, and he just performs in all aspects of the game. He is a performer, and his utility is tremendous. It's across the board great. You got to deal with him on defense. On offense, he's good. I like him on defense better, but he's just good. Accessibility, again, if you get Jedi Knight Luke, you just got to go either buy that Hutt Cartel bundle, plus maybe a Tusken bundle and a Jabba. His accessibility is going to be lower than some of the ones I mentioned here, but it's not like he's completely out of bounds accessible. I farmed him in a year free to play. I played 1 year free to play on this channel, farmed him, got him unlocked in a year. And his ultimate took another few weeks, another 3 weeks or whatever. But I even sat him out there without an ultimate for a while, and he was still getting holds on defense in Grand Arena without his ult. Jabba the Hutt is really good. He's mid-level accessible in the game. He's got some Lightspeed bundles that can get you there for Jedi Knight Luke and also for Jabba. As far as fun, I have a lot more fun playing with Kylo than Jabba, but, Jabba's fine. He doesn't, bore me. He doesn't excite me. He's just fine. So, that's there. But it really comes down to return on investment. Every month, Smuggler's Run 2 comes out, and you're required to have Jabba for Smuggler's Run 2. And Smuggler's Run 2 is going to get you 6 dot mods every single month of your journey in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. Over 1 year, that's 72 6 dot mods. And I played rosters here, even in Kyber 2. I don't see that they have 72 6 dot mods. The red's really kind of crazy, but I saw it this week. His return on investment, I've measured it out at about 10,000 crystals a month. Others have said it's more like 7,000 or 8,000. Fine. Whatever. That's a lot of crystals. That's a lot of crystals you get back as far as what you invest into mods every month for Jabba the Hutt in Star Wars. His return on investment Nobody else even comes close to touching it. You're going to get a tremendous return on investment for farming Jabba the Hutt in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. And there you go. That's my rankings for Galactic Legends and Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. Hopefully this helps inform you. That's why we do this. It's really out there to inform your farming and help you decide what to do. I hope everybody has a great day. Let me know how your day is going in comments. I'd love to hear from you. Always remember, Nooch too good.